I started my MCAT study journey by spending weeks on Reddit trying to figure out what resources I should be using, as that seemed like the biggest decision at the time. Hi everyone, it's Dave Patel, and I'm one of your Men Life Mastery MCAT mentors. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my MCAT study journey. I was so nervous that if I were to use Kaplan over the Princeton Review or vice versa, that would make all the difference in my score, that I never actually ordered the materials at first because I was just daunted by the amount of resources that were out there. Looking back at it, I realized that it does not matter what type of book you use, it just matters how you use the book and how you practice the materials. But I never actually took a full length until about 2 months into my study journey because I was scared that I would get discouraged by a low score, which in hindsight seems like a silly notion, but I understand how difficult and how daunting this process can seem. I started my MCAT study journey once I finally ordered the books by reviewing Kaplan material and then doing Khan Academy videos and watching them to really try and internalize all the information. And one section that I realized that I struggled with the most ultimately though was cars. And the reason why I struggled with cars is because that's not something that I could just watch a Khan Academy video or read a chapter about and then apply on a practice problem. That's something that I had to actually know how to use different strategies and kind of go without any prior knowledge. I spent so much time watching YouTube videos and reading Reddit posts about different cars strategies and trying to memorize what other people's strategies were. And I tried to emulate those. But ultimately, I realized that those strategies weren't working for me. And it's because I work differently than other individuals. And that's ultimately what led me to realize one of the best realizations I had during my MCAT study journey was that everyone studies for the MCAT differently and everyone does the MCAT differently. What works for me does not work for everyone else, and what works for them did not work for me. But I realized that I needed to figure out what does work for me by doing different practice problems. So I used Jack Weston and other practice materials for cars to try and find different strategies. And ultimately, I found that highlighting doesn't work for me, but what does work for me is trying to create a mental framework of the main idea of the passage and kind of summarize each paragraph as I go and then go to the questions. But I understand that some people like highlighting, and that's just ultimately what works best for you. Just know that also we here at Men Life Mastery are here to support you as well. You can sign up for our free MCAT strategy email. Click the link below to get more strategies for people who've taken the test as well. To continue my MCAT study journey, I was back at school doing a full academic load and doing all these other extracurricular activities in addition to studying for the MCAT. I definitely underestimated how much time it would take to do my other activities in addition to the MCAT studying that I had to do. So I kind of saved a lot and thought I could do so much more content review before actually diving into practice materials. But I got about a month into the semester and I realized that I needed to crank out my MCAT studying. So I spent every second I possibly could trying to do MCAT materials. Whether that was walking to and from classes, I was doing Anki cards. In the rec center on the stair stepper, I was doing Anki cards. At one point, it was really bad that I sat down at one of the seats in the gym and was reading next to people who were doing weights, and my friends gave me side-eye for that. And ultimately, I realized that I was trying to spend so much time trying to passively use every second I could to review, and I wasn't actually practicing the material, so that wasn't really helping. I wasn't being very efficient or effective, and I realized I needed to change this. I bought a URoad subscription, and I decided to carve out times of my day to allow for intentional and efficient MCAT studying. So I would set aside an hour or two to do URoad questions and to review them thoroughly, and I would set aside certain weekends to do full-length exams and then have time the day after to review them as well. And I found that that really helps me because I learned how I can review not only the questions I got wrong, but also the questions I got right. And maybe I had the wrong approach to get them right. This helped me figure out the types of questions that are asked along with the types of passages and how I can make sure that I'm truly comprehending the passage and the questions, but thinking about how I'm understanding the question and using keywords or using different strategies to eliminate wrong answers or make sure I'm not getting tripped up by some of the scientific jargon. 4 weeks before my exam was the start of my winter break, so I had all of my winter break to study, and that's what I did for all of my winter break was doing the AAMC full-length exams and the practice questions and materials. I took my exam on January of 2023, and on Valentine's Day of 2023, I found out I got a 525. So while I may have been alone on Valentine's Day, at least I had a little bit of a celebration with the score that I was able to achieve. Looking back in my MCAT journey, I can say that it was worth it, but I definitely could have gone about my MCAT studying a little bit differently and also understand the importance of creating time for yourself within your MCAT study journey. It also probably wasn't the most effective of me to try and put my life on pause or wait to do fun things until after my MCAT. You should try to find time to balance MCAT studying with your other activities and creating time for yourself and doing things that you love. I know that it can seem hard and it's difficult to think that you can use in every possible second you have to do MCAT studying, but that's ultimately going to cause burnout and maybe drive you crazy. And that's kind of what it did to me sometimes. And that's the reason why I became an MCAT mentor, is to help support other students and help you guys achieve your dreams and find strategies that work for you, but also to focus on wellness and to focus on things that make you, you, so that you can be the most productive student and MCAT taker that you can be. I want you to know that while you're in the thick of it, I'm so proud of all that you have done and that you will continue to do, and just know that you can do it and it will be worth it in the end. So I just want you to know that we are here for you and you guys can do it. And thank you very much for watching.